Thank you. Another thing that is important to highlight is discriminatory policies, double standards. Everybody expects a girl to be a virgin to marriage, but you don't expect a boy to be so. Another thing is school pregnancy policy. Girls who get pregnant while in school are required to withdraw, while the boys are allowed to continue their education. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Good. Now, we can see this demonstration. I'm sure we can remember when we were in secondary school, PTA meetings, parent-teacher association meetings. So what this slide is basically talking about is this is a parent-teachers meeting on sexuality education. And one parent is saying, if you have proper sexual education, would our children be encouraged to have sex? Another one says no. Okay, so the teacher now is responding and saying no. Sexuality education does not lead to early or increased sexual activity. Children actually need this information. Young adults actually need this information to be healthy and make good choices. So it's important. It's very, very important. I'm happy that we have some key stakeholders here talking about and would also be on the panel to talk about this. Next slide, please. Okay. So one of the challenges that adolescents and young adults face is, like I mentioned earlier, the early sexual activity between the age of 15 and 18. And by age 20, 7 out of 10 women have actually had sexual intercourse. So this is according to NDHS 2018. The National Policy on Sexuality Education in Schools faces resistance from religious institutions, fearing it will exacerbate promiscuity and unwanted pregnancy. Next slide, please. Okay. So why do young Nigerians need better information? Population growth implications. Nigeria has one of the highest fertility rates. And we know that we are a country of, I call it, low to moderate income country. And if we keep growing at this rate, it will affect our health status, it will affect the economy. So we need as much as possible to still keep talking about comprehensive sexuality education. Digital age exposure, I've talked about it previously. On your phone, you're just one click away to a pornographic site and you know what you can get from there. Economic pressure, I mentioned that earlier, gender equality, inequality. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Great. So I'm going to ask us a question quickly. Now, I want just two people to answer my question. And we're going to be painting a clinical scenario. Cynthia is a 16-year-old girl. Her boyfriend is pressuring her for sex. What should Cynthia do? Cynthia is a 16-year-old girl. Her boyfriend is pressuring her for sex. What should Cynthia do? Would we have one? I want a guy, please. Yeah, so we have a lady, yes. Any guy representative, thank you. So two people, thank you. Please, can you stand up so we can see your beautiful face? Thank you.
So my advice for Cynthia would be that he should talk to his girlfriend that he's not ready for sex. And if the pressure is getting too much, he will relationship.
Thank you. Okay. Somebody else has another alternative. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
So my advice for Cynthia is letting her know she has a right to say.
Thank you very much. Great. Another person. Okay, as many people that can answer. Great. Great. This can you stand
my
up?
advice to Cynthia would be, is she ready for that?
Great.
So she has rights to own her choice.
Very
she
good.
wants to.
Thank you. Own your choice. Next person, please. Thank you. You want to say something? Okay.
For me, I believe she's a minor.
Okay. I'm loving this.
In as much as she's a minor, even with the education that they have, there are still some people that still don't get that understanding.
Very good.
So she needs to make a decision for herself.
Thank you
and
very
if
much.
the pressure is too much, there is always a route to back out.
Thank you very much. Next person.
Okay, so I believe that at that age, you shouldn't, because getting into a relationship at that age would lead to that kind of pressure. So I feel like, I'm not saying there's a certain age to enter a relationship, but I feel like at that age, she's still very young to be in a relationship, because those kind of things will come. And yeah, so I would just advise her not to be in a relationship at that age.
Cynthia should know a comprehensive sexuality education
your choice, which is to say yes and to say no.
Great.
But she should know the consequence of either.
Thank
if
you.
she say yes, she should know about contraception,
Great.
she should know about healthy relationship,
Great.
she should know about her position there. If she say no, she should also know that she has the choice to say no
Great.
as well. So she trust them with that choice.
Thank you. Just one more person.
Cynthia is 16 and in Nigeria, let's say she's in SS2.
Okay.
So my advice to her is if the pressure is too much and she give in, she should use protection.
Okay.
That's fine.
Thank you very much. Yes, please. Last person.
As much as I advise Cynthia,
Please, one house, one house, one house.
as much as I advise Cynthia to get proper sexual education, and also I want to know, like, what age is her boyfriend?
Let's say your boyfriend is also 16. One house, please.
First of all, if
One
my
house.
boyfriend is the same age as her, they are both like non-consensual adults. Like I said, Cynthia is underage, she cannot consent to sex. She shouldn't even be thinking of sex at 16. So I don't think she should be adult. But she should get sexual education. That's a very important fact.
Okay. So we have one more person. Fine now. One house, please. Let's not divide the room, please. One house. Thank you.
Alright, thank you. So we don't understand what sex is and all that. I said by law, if you are under 18, it's not presumed that cannot give consent. So since you are 16, whether she gives the consent or not, by law it is considered that her consent is not being consent to sex. And if they go for to engage in it, it should be regarded as rape. So the boyfriend should know what he's getting into.
Okay, lawyer.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So, give it up for our barrister and our other responders. Thank you so much. Great. So please, I want 5 volunteers. 5 people to just come up, please. 5 people. Just 5 people. Please, 5.
Okay, there might be money involved, quickly.
Hey, just 5 people. If you are bold and confident, just come
Alright, we have
up.
someone coming out already. Can I come out?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so we have 2 people.
Yeah, just 5 people. 5. Thank you.
I hope you just say surprise, 1 million naira.
Surprise! You want a brand new 200 naira. Thank you. Please, put your hands together for them. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for your contribution. Actually, everybody is right. What you said is right, but we're just going to break things down. So, please, you just read what is on your placard. Yeah, thank you.
No means no.
So, no means no. Even if you have said yes earlier, this is basically talking about consent. Are we together? Consent is saying, okay, I want to do something. But even if you choose at any point in time in the act of sex, and you say, I'm not interested anymore, it is still regarded as consent. So no means no, even if you have said yes earlier. Can I hear you say no means no?
No means no.
Thank you.
Contraceptives, your choice, your control.
Mayowa initially mentioned that we have a call and response. So when I say Youth Fest 3.0,
Youth Fest 3.0.
say it like you mean it now.
Wenaija Youth Fest 3.0.
Thank you. That talks about contraceptives. Thank you so much. Next.
Abstinence, waiting, not missing.
Abstinence is waiting, not missing. You're not missing anything out. If you actually have the right information. So the most important thing is your choice. If you choose to have sex, you should know what and what to do. If you choose not to have sex, abstinence, you are still good to go. Thank you. Next.
Sex education is not a taboo.
Can I hear you say that again?
Sex education is not a taboo.
Thank you so much. Next, please.
Okay. Break the silence.
Is that one? Stop.
Okay, stop.
Thank you. So break the silence. Please, can you put your hands together for all of them? Thank you. Thank you for being my helpmates in this. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. Okay. So we're rounding up soon. Next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. So basically, access to contraception, understanding consent, knowing rights. Next slide, please. Please, let's just move on quickly. device, product, or method used to prevent pregnancy. It works by blocking fertilization or implantation or by stopping ovulation. And contraceptive is a key dimension of the right to the highest attainable standard of physical and mental health. Women's childbearing role also has an such as the right to education and work. Next slide, please. Thank you. So basically, I'll round up after this. These are the different contraceptive methods that we have. I don't know if those of us here can see it. Can we see it? Can we? Oh, okay. So I should move here. Okay. Oh, the platform. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure I'm strong enough to lift it. Can someone help me bring it? Thank you. Can you carry it? Oh, I think just this one. Can we all see it now? Is everyone seeing it? Okay. So one that is not on the slide is abstinence. And we've talked about abstinence already. Abstinence basically says, oh, I'm waiting till I get married and I'm not interested in sex. Okay. But we know that in Nigeria and globally, this is not always obtainable because a large percentage of young people practice sex even before marriage. So now, what are the contraceptive options that you have? First and foremost, we talked about abstinence. The second one is the natural rhythmic methods. And from here to here, we have reversible. I remember Mr. Oluwatosin. One of the things he mentioned on our tag cloud was sterilization. So we'll not really be talking about this today because we are young people and we expect to experience and enjoy our reproductive health. So basically, from here to here is what we're talking about. The natural family planning methods. The menstruation, we have the calendar method, we have the withdrawal method, coitus interruptus. Good. That is another method. Another method we have is the barrier method. Statistics show that Nigerian uptake for condom has reduced by 50%. Why is that? So a lot of people that used to use condoms don't use condoms anymore. Why? What is going on? And the implant is that you can just have it, you just need to visit the hospital once in 5 years, and that's fine. So for the implant, between 3 to 5 years, you have your arm, and that's fine. For the IUDs, you have it for at least maybe 5 to 10 years, and you're fine. That is a form of contraceptive. Great. So next slide, please. Okay, so let's quickly give this 5 minutes before I drop the mic because I know that my time is up. Now, condoms this is a myth. Condoms are uncomfortable and ruin the mood. Yes or no? If you say yes with your chest, please. Full chest. Condoms are uncomfortable and ruin the mood. Is that so? No. Because now we have modern condoms. We have condoms that are texturized. We have condoms that have lubricants. We have condoms that are true to size, that fit your size. Are we good to go? Good. So modern condoms are thin, lubricated, and designed for comfort, and the peace of mind they give far outweighs a brief pause. If you are on the pill, the OCB pills, you can't get an STI. True or false? True or false? Great. Oral contraceptives prevent pregnancy, but they offer no protection against HIV and other STIs. You can't use condoms if you have a small penis. True or false? Condoms come in various sizes and styles. Choosing the right fit ensures comfort and effectiveness. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so let's just quickly do this. You can't get pregnant the very first time you have sex. True or false? Great. Contraceptives are only for married people. True or false? Great. STIs always show symptoms. True or false? Always show symptoms. True or false? So this is the reason why contraceptives. You can be asymptomatic for years. You can't be asymptomatic. You might not have any symptoms. Is that okay? Great. So next slide, please. Okay. So this is where I'm going to drop my mic now. We are all our parents. We expect our parents to be our first teachers. But in most cases, this doesn't happen. And I'm happy we're having this conversation now because each and every one of us has become an advocate today. So please and please, we have our religious leaders, we have our teachers, you yourself, you are an important stakeholder. Dr. Fejiro mentioned that you are the platform. You are the platform now. And we need to keep speaking up about comprehensive sexuality education because the statistics that we have are alarming. So each and every one of us, please and please, students.
Come let's get up for Dr. Nana Awaya. Yes,
give us away.
yes, so you can hear us.
All right, I also like to create the indulgence of Umar Farouk Mustafa. Please be on the street while I take the citation. He's a social and human development practitioner all the way from Jos Plateau State, Nigeria. With a master's degree in social work from Bayero University, Kano, is passionate advocate for peace and social cohesion. He has served in several leadership roles, including the National Project Officer and the Nigerian aid group of JNI, state focal person for the NS Plateau, the co-chair of Plateau Interfaith Forum for Peace and Sustainable Development, and assistant co-chair of the Cardinal Onoye-Kong Foundation for Peace. Umar is recognized as a peace ambassador and Millennium Development Ambassador by multiple organizations, reflecting his commitment to social impact community development. As a seasoned lead consultant and independent organization development expert, Umar has extensive experience in guiding businesses, social initiatives towards growth and operational efficiency. He excels in strategic planning, stakeholder engagement, team leadership, project delivery, having led teams to achieve measurable improvement in efficiency and revenue. Known for his analytic mindset and problem-solving skills, he mentors and develops talent while delivering innovative solutions that exceed client expectations. Beyond his professional work, Umar enjoys exploring new destinations, reading, photography, music, sports, and also reflecting a well-rounded and dynamic personality. Please, a round of applause. Thank you very much. I must say, he's also, he has a great fashion sense. Let me add that by myself. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much, Sam, for joining us today. Also, to join this panel conversation, we have Dr. Busola Olamuyiwa. She is one of our panelists for today. She's a founder and lead clinical psychologist for Sekin House of Epsiber Wellness Hospital. With over 15 years of experience across Nigeria and Ireland, she has worked extensively with children, families, and organizations to promote mental well-being. Our expertise spans interventional diagnostics and therapeutical psychology, helping young people build resilience, self-esteem, and coping mechanisms to navigate challenges such as bullying, grief, and family disruption. In addition to her focus on child and adolescent psychology, Dr. Olamuyiwa specializes in organizational psychology and workplace mental health. How many of you are? Okay. All right. She's a sought-after speaker and trainer on emotional wellness, collaborating with schools, hospitals, and faith-based institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Busola Olamuyiwa. Thank you very much for joining us here today.
A round of applause for her one more time. Come on. All right, coming up next, she's also going to be joining us virtually. We'll have Dr. Yemisi Ogunlari, that's the project director at JPEGO, Nigeria. Dr. Yemisi Ogunlari is a respected global health leader and project director at JPEGO, Nigeria, an affiliate of Johns Hopkins University with over 18 years of experience. She leads two major national initiatives. One is the Global Health Security Project that strengthens Nigeria's ability to prevent, detect, and respond to public health emergencies, and the Quality Improvement Project advancing evidence-based approach across HIV, tuberculosis, malaria, MNSCH, and other essential services. She also serves as technical lead for the Global Health Security, Infectious Diseases, and Humanitarian Responses for Anglophone African countries, and contributes her expertise as a technical advisory board member to several international development organizations. A strategic system thinker. Dr. Ogunlari provides technical leadership across maternal and newborn health, infectious disease, surveillance, outbreak response, and quality of care. She has led large-scale donor-funded programs reaching millions, working closely with governments and civil societies to strengthen data use, emergency preparedness, and institutional capacity. A strong advocate for quality of care, leadership development, she has mentored thousands of young professionals and health workers. Dr. Ogunlari holds a doctorate in public health administration and MSc in project management, an additional training in public health and business administration, and is also committed to saving lives, transforming communities, and shaping the next generation of public health leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me make welcome Dr. Yemisi Ogunlari. Please, a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Actually, he said she's going to join us virtually. And now to our panel moderator, we have with us in the building Dr. Stephen. And Papa, let's get up for him. Now, Dr. Stephen is a medical doctor and center. Okay, he's a medical doctor and center coordinator at MSI Nigeria Reproductive Choices, where he leads clinical operations, reproductive health programs, and community-focused service delivery in Nigeria. He has built a strong track record in patient care, public health engagement, and clinical management. Alongside his medical career, he's a contributing writer for Ibom Air, merging his analytical and creative strength through published works. He holds a MBBS from the University of Uyo and a BSc in Pure and Applied Chemistry from the University of Jos. Currently, he is pursuing a master's degree in public health at Ahmadu Bello University. He continues to expand his expertise in data-driven health solutions. His professional interests include reproductive health, health communication, strengthened by his skills in analytical methods, research, and technical writing. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our panel moderator, Dr. Wenaija. Round of applause for him as he chairs this panel conversation.
Let's give him a round of applause. So this session is going to be as interactive as possible. Be on standby and get ready to also jump into the conversation. So once again, please a big hand for panelists. To Dr. Nana, can you give us a wave? Dr. Yemiso Budari, you can hear us, give us a wave. Let's know you can hear us too. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, our panelists. Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you very much, NSSF. My name is Dr. Sifon. I'm the Center Coordinator of MSI Reproductive Choices, Lekki, and also the medical doctor in charge of Maristops Medical Center. I welcome you all to today's panel discussion, and I promise it's going to be a very exciting moment here. So today we'll have a very important discussion: the dangers of incomplete sexual and reproductive health education. And I'm sure we'll all have questions after this session, and I give opportunity for one or two questions. So I manage a sexual and reproductive health clinic, and I see a lot of youths coming very clueless about their sexual and reproductive health. They just go through life not knowing what to do in certain situations, and it's very worrisome because these are young people, and it shows the gap that there is when it comes to sexual and reproductive health. You can see someone, a 16-year-old coming in and saying, I had sex, what should I do? And they're telling you, they're coming in to tell you 2 months after they had the sex. And it's really troubling because this shows that there's a lot of work to be done, especially in the sexual and reproductive field. And that's why this discussion is very important, because we need to actually address these issues, not just here, even when we go back to the larger society, in our churches, in our schools, in our classroom. This should be a message that should be preached loudly. We should fill that gap and let our youth, our adults, the adolescents, let them know that there is more. The information should be out there, and even in this age where there is a lot of information on the web, on the net, on the social media, and these informations could be misleading, and we know how misleading things tend to trend these days. So this panel is very important because we are going to it's going to help us empower youths and support them to make healthy and responsible choices. So the overall goal of this roundtable is to foster an open and stigma-free conversation. Emphasis on stigma-free. So we'll examine the effectiveness of abstinence-only approaches while we explore and provide comprehensive sexual and reproductive health information. Our goal is to empower young people with accurate knowledge and uphold their rights to make informed choices. They should know that they have the choices, they have the power to make the choices that are before them. Like when Dr. O was up and she gave the scenario of a 16-year-old. The 16-year-old should know that, okay, these are my choices. I can do option A, but there are consequences to option A. And I can do option B, and this is where option B to do. Let them have the full information. So I will start with our public health professional, Dr. Yemisi. I don't know if you can hear me, Dr. Yemisi. Please, if you can hear, please. Thank you very much. So I'd like to ask the PMC, how can sexual and reproductive health education for Nigerian youths move beyond abstinence-only messaging to provide practical, evidence-based guidance that genuinely reduces the rise in STIs, unintended teenage pregnancies, and unsafe abortions?
Thank you very much for that question. And hi everyone, it's so good to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. That's a very important question. So I'm going to start in answering that question by telling you a story. So I work for Jopaigo, and Jopaigo is John Hopkins University affiliate in Nigeria, and we work on several sexual and reproductive health projects within Nigeria, connecting them with custody, HIV, STI, TB, and the rest. And in one of my experiences on the field, I had a group of young ladies, young girls and boys, who thought that it was more confident and safe to share, about their experiences with me. And listen, I'm talking people 10, 11, 12, it's probably about 15 years old. And just like what you said, most of them were from good moral upbringing, Christian homes, and all that. And because it was like a HIV youth-friendly center, and I was speaking to them at that point, they said, a few of them told me they want to talk to me aside. And so they said to me, they have had sex. And I'm talking 12-year-old, I'm talking 13, I'm talking 14. And that they think that they're HIV positive already because, cut the long story short. And we started engaging and looking through the data. I realized for confidentiality's sake, of course, I couldn't be addressing them in public because I knew that some of them, I think about 6 and 4 of them were already HIV positive. And this is in Nigeria, one of our states. And so I said to them, why? And they said to me that the only auntie that sells condom around their house is their Bible study teacher. And they cannot go to her and buy condom because she's going to kill them. And that just brings to you the fact that these things are living with us is everywhere, right? Nigeria is one of the tops as a 2023 UNICEF record on maternal mortality. We are top second globally for neonatal mortality. And numbers of adolescents and youths that are HIV, STI, the numbers keep rising every day. Of course, the studies have shown us, UNESCO and all of that, that this improper education is the reason why we are having these numbers. But we're not talking about it. So a couple of years ago, ABC was the big campaign. We're younger, but it was abstain, be faithful, use a condom. But that stopped, or that kind of slowed down because of funding and all of that. But we're still seeing the burden, and it's showing in the number of deaths that were recorded everywhere. But we're not talking about it because we're a very moralistic society, which is not a bad thing. But how do we move from there to, like your question says, to an evidence-based, convincible, practical way that doesn't just talk about abstinence? So abstinence is good. What we teach in church, what we teach in the mosques, what we teach in schools are good. But we do not limit access to information that children, young people, young adolescents have access to anymore. And so we need to be able to tell ourselves the truth and bring out these numbers. We have this maternal deaths. How many of these numbers are young girls and young boys? We have this, young girls rather, we have this neonatal deaths. How many of them is triggered by all of this? We need to be able to say these numbers in churches. We need to be able to say these numbers in the mosques. We need to be able to come up and design campaigns that mothers and parents know that while abstinence is beautiful, it's killing people. Abstinence alone is killing people. So instead, we need to be able to assign age-appropriate choices so while you teach them abstain, you can also add to say, the messages around sex, delayed sexual debut and all of that. You can also add that there's a certain age that is safe for you to do it. This is what evidence have shown to us by clear numbers in convincible clips that mothers and churches and mosques and societies and the schools can adopt. So again, secondly, Nigeria has a family life HIV education curriculum that was approved for schools to use. But most schools are not using it anymore because they're like, why should we talk about it? But that is triggering, we're not getting the proper education out. So that's triggering a lot of issues. And I will keep talking about it. It's triggering a lot of death, a lot of HIV positivity across the world. I'm interestingly in the international conference in Africa for HIV and AIDS and STI. And we're seeing the numbers. We're seeing tons of young people who are positive, who are talking about it. Yes, we are not stigmatizing people. We love the fact that they're coming out, but can we reduce those numbers? Can we reduce the incidences by talking about these things more in churches? So while we preach sustenance, talk about how they can, the right time for them to have it. Talk about the options for protection that they can have. Create an enabling environment. And so the last two things I talk about is even in the schools, while the curriculum exists, can we develop an accountability framework in engagement with government to ensure that schools don't have an option to pick a side, but they provide a holistic, educational process where you're not only teaching abstinence, but you're teaching age appropriateness, you're teaching, safety, you're talking about contraceptives, you're talking about the options that are safe for people as young as from age 10 or even lower. I work a lot in the north as well. It's the norm. Nobody wants to talk about it, but when you're looking at pregnant records in the health facility, talking about age 8 and above, it's normal. And I remember talking to one of the stakeholders there recently, and they said to me, we can't talk about it because there are lots. So we need to normalize these conversations, increase advocacy for this. Educate the teachers, both in churches, in schools, who would communicate this and say, and not teach us about sex and we can't talk about our reproductive organs. And the teacher to say, no, it's private, don't talk about it. No, call it what it is. Because if you don't call it, the social media is going to call it. People online that are not safe are going to call it for them. So we need to normalize calling the body parts, talking about the dangers of the different exposures, managing emotions, regularizing these curriculums in schools, coming up with the data in easy, adoptable manners where parents, teachers, and will look at it that there's death at stake. And so because we want our children safe, there's STI at stake, there's HIV. Because we want them safe, we need to be able to communicate this information. And finally, I would say, of course, we will talk a lot around social media, right? We may not be able to regulate TikTok and all of that, as sharing information are not regulated. But we can bombard that space with the right information.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Yemise. So we've heard that this sexual and reproductive health education should be age appropriate and it should be an ongoing process. So what you tell a 6-year-old and what you tell a 10-year-old should be different. So a 6-year-old should know, these are my body parts, this is the breast, this is the vagina, this is the penis. Let them know the names, let them call it, let it be loud in their head. So if someone tries to touch them in one of these body parts, they should always call the person. So it should be age appropriate. What you tell a 6-year-old, it should be age appropriate for a 6-year-old. What you tell a 10-year-old should be, oh, okay, if you do this, this will happen to this. What you tell an 18-year-old is, okay, you should know about contraception. These are your options, and this is what will help our youth to have a comprehensive sexual education. So my second question for you, Dr. Yemise, what strengthens the reliability of sexual health information for young people, and how can schools Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll come back to you, Ma. Let's go to our religious leader, Ustaz Umar Farouk Frank. I would like to know, how can sexual and reproductive health messaging uphold cultural and religious values that promote abstinence while providing young people with balanced, evidence-based guidance on contraception, consent, healthy relationships, and the realities they face when abstinence is not always maintained? We know that even if we preach abstinence from today till tomorrow, there are youths that will still engage in sexual activities. So it's important to guide them so that they know the right thing to do. So the question is, how can this message uphold cultural and religious values that promote abstinence while still providing young people with balanced evidence, guidance on contraception, health relationship, consent, and the realities they face? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. Well, ideally, when I was first informed about this program, looking at the content and also the target audience, I began to ask myself as to what is actually happening, because I took a research around the world globally to understand the percentage of youth in all the nations of the world. And I discovered that in almost all the nations, youth constitute a greater percentage of the world's population. And having gone through the synopsis, I understand the gap that is with these young people, not having the accurate knowledge, awareness on sexual reproductive health. I said, wow, this is an opportunity in crisis. I just describe them as opportunity in crisis. Why? Because they lack information, accurate information, they lack awareness. Coming back to the question, ideally, if messaging is tailored on the basis of religion, culture, and medical expert, it will not only uphold, but it will balance the whole thing. It will make people understand other aspects, not limiting the message on abstinence. As previous discussant has said, limiting the message on abstinence is even making it more worse, because these people will say, you can't ask somebody to stop this while you don't have abstinence. Whether we like it or not, young people must have sex. They must practice sex. So what do we do? Can we now have an alternative on some soft ways through which they can have a soft life? We're not encouraging promiscuity, but rather we're telling them, if you must do this, why not use this? Islamically, the reversible contraceptive is accepted in the Holy Quran, but the irreversible one is rejected in totality. So we must see that our messaging is tailored basically, scripturally, medically, and culturally sensitive, so as to get the attention of these young people. And again, we must avoid, like I said, the limiting it to abstinence. We must learn to integrate. To also have what we call a right-based approach, just like what Dr. O has said. Let these young people understand that they have right to some certain things, especially to their sexual rights, to their sexual expressions, and in fact, to all they do sexually. There is a need for them to understand. And also they have right to access accurate reproductive health information and awareness. So if people have this right, it will go a long way in ensuring that they will have what we call, or they will live upright. So having messages tailored towards religiously, conscience, also culturally sensitive, and as well as science-oriented. It will not only uphold the messaging, but it will balance the whole thing. This, I believe, will go a long way if we try this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, a hand of applause. So the takeaway point there is, let them have options. If you tell them don't take Gary, give them options. We're not promoting promiscuity, but let them have options and let them know that they have choices. So over to you, Dr. Nana. We would like to know, how can Christians' teaching on abstinence be communicated in a way that honors biblical principles, while acknowledging that some young people still engage in early sexual activities and face risks like underage pregnancies?
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here. To my co-panelists, moderator, and all resource persons, and everyone present, good afternoon. I would like to start by appreciating NSSF for this platform honestly, it's I've seen that the young people form a large chunk of our population, and yet they have limited access to information and services. So I'll be speaking on the role of the religious body as per the Christian community, talking about abstinence, upholding biblical principles, at the same time acknowledging that we have young people that are sexually active. Yes, we are not here and we will not shift the goalposts. The Bible is explicit on its position on sexual purity. The Bible frowns on sexual immorality and upholds sexual purity, as you can see across the Bible, talking about virginity, things like that. And then also, we have Bible passages all across the scripture supporting sexual purity. In the New Testament, I'll just cite maybe one or two. When we look at the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, it talks about our bodies being the temple of the Holy Spirit. We have been bought with a price, and we should therefore honor God with our bodies. The Bible tells us that we should offer our lives as a living sacrifice to God. So you see, the Bible is explicit about its position on sexual purity. And the teaching that we get mostly from church is to abstain. So the question now is, what if I find myself on the side that I'm not abstaining? Does that mean I'm no longer worthy to become a Christian? That's the question. So it actually boils down to the theme of this discussion, the dangers of half education. So the church can balance this by bearing in mind that there are two categories of young people that might be in that congregation, maybe more, but at least two major categories. The young people that haven't experienced sex, and the Bible is telling them abstain. The Christian community is saying abstain. And we have biblical backings to that. But we have a generation of young people that ask questions. During our times, our parents will say, everything they say is amen. We don't question. As a matter of fact, if you want to question, they see you as a rude child, disrespectful. But the Gen Zs now, they'll ask you questions, either in class or at home, anywhere they ask. So don't just tell them abstain. You go for that to tell them the reasons why they should abstain. And being a Christian community, you tell them with biblical evidence why they should abstain. In addition, you add other reasons why they should abstain, benefits physically to their bodies. You can talk to them about their status in the society, self-esteem, self-worth. So don't just say abstain, give them a reason why they should abstain. By that, you're empowering them. They have a reason for their actions. The church shouldn't stop there. The church should go further to let them know how can they navigate, practical steps I can take. Or peradventure, if I'm not abstaining, what else can I do? So the church will have at least two categories in mind. The first one, those that are not yet exposed to sex. And then the second category of young people that might have been exposed to sex, maybe of their own volition, maybe they were molested, whatever the situation. And it might have been a one-off thing. Some are having sex continuously, as the Ustaz said. It's one of the natural things people do, reproduction, okay? All living things are expected to reproduce, and sex is the gateway to reproduction, okay? So for those people, the church should have the message of abstinence to them, but not in a way to condemn them. As I said, someone would say, okay, now I've been unable to abstain. That means I no longer belong to this community. I might as well just go back to where I'll be accepted. No. The church will teach this category of people the story of redemption. Yes, restoration. In the past, you might have done this, but currently, I want to turn over a new leaf to start. So the church should encourage them, shouldn't leave them feel condemned in any way. So the church has a critical role, because even in the church, the young people form a large part of the congregation. So we should be able to have this teaching for them, so that whichever side of the divide they find themselves, they should still feel be part of the community and yet know how to navigate. Thank you so much.
For Dr. Nana. Dr. Nana is saying that the church should always show compassion to the youths and always teach them that aside from abstinence, there are other options. To our psychologist, Dr. Busola, how do natural adolescence traits like curiosity, impulsiveness, and peer influence affect young people's understanding of sexual and reproductive health?
and psychological impact, and what psychological impacts arise from incomplete or fear-based education? Thank you.
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank my co-panelists and, of course, the moderator and NSSF and Dr. Fejiro for having me here today. I think I'll speak as a clinical psychologist. And this is what I always say to adults. First of all, we have to understand, you're asking me about adolescents, and Dr. O did a good job by giving us the different ages of what an adolescent is from age 9 to 19, is 10 to 19. So let's look at it from the biological, the psychological, and the social. The biological, the prefrontal cortex of an adolescent has not yet fully formed for them to be able to regulate their emotions, for them to make critical decisions, and for them to, make life-changing decisions that can impact on their sexual health, sexual reproductive health. Why? Because their brain in that aspect has not yet fully developed. However, the emotional side of things is very active. So what that means is that things like curiosity, impulsivity, just general emotions, happiness, excitement, joy, all of those things are present. Therefore, we cannot expect someone who is unable to make those active decisions to then, be able to self-regulate. And I'll go to the example, the scenario that Dr. O gave about a 16-year-old. For us as psychologists, we believe that the way you think affects the way you feel and then your behavior. So if a young person thinks that I'm being pressured, this is too overwhelming, right? They think about it, it's a pressurized thought. They will feel a certain way that can make them act in a certain way. So even the thought of pressure can send a negative feeling and can make them make a decision that is not right. So the child might go, well, this pressure is too much. Let me just give in, right? And then the behavior happens. But the truth is that they don't have that ability to self-regulate, to think critically, and then make the right decision. So that's one aspect. So the biological factor already limits them from making the right decision, right? And then we go to the psychological factors. How does this impact on them psychologically? Now, they don't have the right information from adults. Who has the ability to think critically from the biological factor is adults. Again, I think from what we saw, according to the United Nations, adulthood means from the age of 18. But sometimes even as psychologists, we question that because the brain is still developing. Even across life, we know there's neuroplasticity of the brain. So that means the brain keeps learning and unlearning. So that's one aspect. But for a child, there's still brain development till like age 22. And when we're talking about this prefrontal cortex, I'm sure doctors are here, the brain is still developing. The parts that controls for emotions and things are still developing. Regulation, like I said. So we as adults are the ones with the responsibility to teach an adolescent the right thing to do. And I think that has been the crux of our conversation today, is that these young people, what they're able, from the age of 10 to 19, the only thing they're able to give us is those emotions. And if people don't give them the right information, they're going to act based on what they know or what they feel. And if what I feel is curiosity, it's normal. It's a normal thing for me to be curious. We shouldn't shut them up. We shouldn't, like they were talking about church and the emphasis on abstinence in the church. But they feel something from a young age. Sigmund Freud helps us to know that even as little as a child, when a parent gives the warmth, they feel something. They feel comforted. From when you're washing a child's private parts, they feel something different. So why are we not giving them these age-appropriate conversations? Like we've all talked about. from age 0 to 5, you teach them body parts. There are books that we can use to teach young, like when my children were growing up, when they were about 4, I got a book by Praise for Wowe. I don't know if we know him. He's very popular, and he teaches basic body parts to the point that I left a part out because I love to hug my kids and kiss them, and they're boys. One of my boys said to me, Mom, there's a part in you can't kiss me on the lips, but you can kiss me on the cheeks. You know, these are conversations. These are things that teach them rights and boundaries, which goes to the psychological part. Children, young people can't be taught boundaries if you give them age-appropriate information. Don't touch my body. Don't kiss me on my lips. Even though you're my mom, my lips is private, right? The social factors as well. If we don't give them the right information, they are recruited by their peers. Because if you as an adult shut them down, don't say the right things to them, then who do they rely on? They rely on what is available to them. Their peers, social media, right, which is the big thing. The world is now a global stage, right? It's no more contained like in our days when we're growing up. So it is very important. The Jerry Epstein's, I don't know if anybody has seen that documentary, is a classical example of how young people recruit one another. And when they recruit one another, what are they doing? They become vulnerable to adults that can take advantage of them. So it is important that we address this from the biological, the psychological, and the social factors. And it has to be awesome. It has to be accurate, age appropriate, so that we can get the goal of reducing some of these things that we talked about.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause. That was really beautiful. Let's stay on you a little while, Dr. Busola. You know, when I was...
parents with children with HIV, support group. So we have to have professionals who can go into this, or volunteers that are trained specifically for these types of conversations.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for her. Our MCs, please kindly permit us an extra 5 minutes for us to round up. So I would like to throw the question to our Ustaz. How can collaboration among religious institutions, parents, educators, and health experts make sexual and reproductive health conversations more open, relatable, and youth-friendly so that these youths can feel comfortable? Please, you can pick up from where she stopped. Thank you.
Well, ideally, there has to be what I call synergy.
Okay.
We must create a kind of synergy among all the institutions. And not only synergy, we must ensure there is exchange of ideas or cross-fertilization of ideas among these institutions from time to time in issues related to sexual reproductive health. Once this is done, it will go a long way in a kind of giving success to whatever effort that is going to be. And also, all decisions should be clear from all the institutions. It should be clear and very comprehensive, like what Dr. O has said. Because people need to know a lot. So we must make it a bit or more comprehensive. And again, we must agree on confidentiality. Young people love it if it is confidential, because many of them will approach you with different issues, with different situations. You must promise confidentiality. And the discussion should be in such a way that it will create what we call an open and free dialogue, so that people will be encouraged to, in fact, ask questions, give their own ideas, and also take decisions. And it should also be customized. Customized as it affects them. You don't bring scenarios that does not, in fact, go particular to their thinking or to their ideas. So it should be customized such to the youth. And one other thing, we must make sure that it has boundaries. There should be boundaries. Whenever you are coming out with issues, there should be boundaries. So if these things will be taken into consideration, it will go a long way in making sure that issues of sexual reproductive health become successful and then become, more impactful into our youth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause. And finally, one last question for all the panelists. In 30 to 40 seconds, having listened to everything we've discussed here, how can we transform sexual and reproductive health education from a fragmented conversation to a unified movement that blends cultural respect and honest dialogue, which bridges gap in knowledge and dismantles stigma? And how can that equip every Nigerian youth with the tool for their own health and future? Please, 30 to 40 seconds each, please. We can start with Dr. Nana.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to say the church should be a safe haven for the young people. The church should provide empathy, compassion, and then also there should be settings whereby the young people can have privacy to talk. Apart from the main programs in church, it can be a small group outside the church setting whereby they can ask. And church workers, junior church leaders for teens church can be trained on how to identify, how to approach. Experts can be brought in, and then with biblical backings, all of them should know that yes, sex is a part of life, but there are times we should have it and there are times we shouldn't. And at every point in time, the church should let the young people know. Always ask for grace from God. God will help you navigate through the journey. Thank you.
Dr. Yemisi, please.
Thank you very much. So I'd say that just to be balanced, the schools remain the most structured and equitable platform that is even for reaching different adolescents and youths. And so we need to get back the right curriculum to the schools, both the teachers and the students to get valid information. While the mosques and the church might have restrictions on what is communicated, the schools can provide a healthy balance that provides a good balance for everyone. So teaching the tutors, teaching the children through the school platforms are good. Government, so we need to improve advocacies to government to take ownership of these things and drive it. And then, of course, finally, I would say, everyone needs to take responsibilities. And we need to be comprehensive and skill-based, using data as evidence to drive these conversations. We cannot be moralistic when our young girls are dying, our teenagers are having infections that are, lifelong, and putting them in conditions that limits them from the other benefits of life. So let's remember that data is life. Data is not just numbers, and this data is fed from people in church, in mosques, and day-to-day life. And so let that inform or trigger the urgency that we apply to this. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Dr. Busola.
Hello. I would like to say that it is important that we listen to understand, not listen to respond. Like I said, a lot of young people don't have the brain capacity, to make informed decision until they get to their 20s. So if we listen to understand their curiosity, their excitement, and we create a safe space for them to speak, they would always come to us freely.
Thank you very much.
For me, I would say let's empower the young people. There is need for empowerment, not empowerment the way we take it, but empowerment through education and awareness. If we can give them a lot of information, basically from all the old institutions, be it the family unit has a lot to offer, and then the community, which we call the society or even the traditional institutions, the religions, and then the medical experts. We need to give a lot of information to young people. If we say, don't do this, why are we saying not to do it? If we say, do this, why and how? This is what we're supposed to do. Once there is empowerment through education, it will go a long way in providing a healthy and upright society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause to our panelists. It is important to secure the future of our youths, of our adolescents, even our young adults, by providing them with complete, comprehensive sexual and reproductive health education so that we don't lose them to HIVs, maternal mortality. We don't lose them to any of these vices. It is very important that everybody is involved, all hands on deck, the church, the society, the school, the elders, even parents. It is very important that we protect the future. Thank you very much.
Please, before you go, please, let's take a picture. I'd like to invite Dr. Fejiro to please join our panelists and the moderator. Can we have the photographers? All right. Yeah. Say, come on. Yeah.
inside if you walk out through fire, fire. Follow you standing inside the fire. Now love me, I don't know. Now love us, I don't know. Who could believe you?
What you say?
Now love me, I don't know. Now love us, I don't know. Nobody live your life to impress anybody. Cause some people was past Satan.
Now love us, people love.
Now love us, people love.
For our panelists as they return to their seats. Please give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. That's been an insightful conversation. And right about now, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to have a little bit of fun, right? But before we do that, okay.
Yes, I'm here with the goody. So, like I said earlier, I made a lot of promises. And if you know me, ask about me. Like a wise philosopher once said, ask about me, ask about me. It's a wise philosopher that said it, yeah. So I do fulfill my promise. There's a lady I promised 200 naira here. Where is she? I should not give you to, hey, you didn't even know what, you didn't know what was inside. Oh, you're little, hey, chop rice, I've changed my mind. I just said a lady I promised 200. You should have just raised your hand and believe in me. It's too late now. It's too late. I should give her, right?
Give her, please.
I should give you a doctor who has already intervened on your behalf. So on behalf of myself, the thing is that when I do these things, I don't like to show. Camera, can you focus on this angle? So I'm presenting you 1, 2, 3, 4. Please, a round of applause. Now, if I were you, I would invest in real estate. This is not the time to be going on. Hello? This is not the time to be going on vacation.
How much did you give her?
It doesn't matter.
Which real estate company?
This is not the time to be going on vacation and be thinking you have arrived. Be smart. Invest. Then support our cause with a bit. You know, amplify your voice. Keep spreading the good news of social reproductive health. I promised somebody goody too.
No,
the lady, yes, Indidi. That's your name, right?
Anthem.
Indidi, right? Yeah, Indidi, goody for Indidi. I have something bigger for you. So you're going home with this pack. This pack has everything you want and more. I go live for you. Please, a round of applause for Indidi. She led us in the national anthem. Yes. Funny enough, we didn't announce this because we wanted to surprise you guys.
Yes.
But someone is going on with a brand new iPhone 14. For some of you, this is small. For somebody, this is big. We're giving out a brand new iPhone 14 charger. We're giving out a brand new...
No, just the cord. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we had a few sponsors for this year's edition. I would like to quickly recognize our sponsors who have come together to be part of this year's edition. So when I call our sponsor, I want you to give them a round of applause. Are we ready? Are we ready?
If you clap very well, I still have goody. See, this is filled with
actually,
goodies.
Not just what we have here.
See, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes,
so,
and
yeah.
some more cash.
Oh, you've not gotten yours.
Who's the lady?
That's Oluwa
Oh, yes, I remember.
That's true. What did you do again? You did something good, right? Keep doing good. I'm joking. All right, you do get one. See, please, a round of applause. Wow. This is by one of our sponsors, too. We are welcome. Maybe you will give, but your thank you loud, pass who collect them.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's want to quickly recognize our sponsor. So when I call our sponsor, I want you to, celebrate them. Are we ready? Are we ready? Please put our hands together for MTN.
Everywhere you go, please, a round of applause for MTN. Thank you so much for all you do. For the extra cool, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me make welcome Marriage Stops Reproductive Choices. Now, I have a good news for us. For those of us who are community members, for members of this community, you get a discount at Marriage Stops Reproductive Choices.
So just be on the lookout for...
Yeah, so if you don't know what Marriage Stops Reproductive Choices is, what they do, basically anything sexual reproductive health from... yes, everything, all and in between. To be honest, they run a list of services. What's that list again? No, I'll tell you about their services.
Just so you know, how many of you received the newsletter? You received the newsletter? Okay. So be on the lookout on social media pages and, of course, the newsletter. We'll give you more information that you need to know. We'd also like to recognize one of our sponsors, Ocean Lord. Please put your hands together for Ocean Lord.
We also like to recognize Zaron. Zaron is a beauty product, so some of those stuff I gave out here, they're from Zaron. Yeah, please, a round of applause for Zaron.
Here's another round of applause for First Pension Custodian. Please put your hands together for First Pension Custodian.
A round of applause for JPGO.
Okay, we also like to recognize Global Shapers Lagos chapter. Please put your hands together for them.
Can we give it up for Global Shapers Lagos chapters and also the Royal Crown Cola International? Yes. Some of you are not clapping. You want to win giveaway. I'm looking at you.
Let it be loud. Let it be loud.
All right.
Also, we'd like to recognize and to also thank Access Bank. Please put your hands together for Access Bank. Thank you very much, Access Bank.
We also like to recognize Coronation. Please, round of applause for Coronation. Can we give a round of applause for Coronation?
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, just before we go into what we have and other
I still have more cash to give out. Somebody say Cash Daddy. Say Cash Daddy. If you say Cash Daddy, I'll give you cash.
All right. So just before we go into all of the cash and, of course, all the games that we have planned, we'd also like to let you know some of the hashtags, the official hashtags for this event. So when you're posting your content on social media, take pictures and make videos.
You can take a picture of us now or a video of us. If you use this hashtag, I'll pick somebody